Did you know that not all vegetables are good for you, especially as you age? For decades, we've been told that the more vegetables we eat, the healthier we become. But what if I told you that some of the most common vegetables, those you find in every grocery store, those you might eat every single week, could actually be quietly damaging your health? It's surprising, isn't it? After all, vegetables are supposed to be nature's gift to our bodies, full of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. But here's the truth: not all vegetables are created equal. Some of them, despite their innocent appearance, can cause inflammation, disrupt your blood sugar, interfere with your medications, or even make existing health conditions worse. Think about it. If you're over 60, you've probably noticed that your body reacts differently to certain foods. Maybe you feel bloated after a meal that used to be fine. Maybe your joints ache after a hearty vegetable soup, or your blood pressure spikes after a seemingly harmless salad. It's not just in your head. As we age, our bodies process food differently, and the wrong vegetable choices can silently chip away at our health. Today, we're diving deep into this hidden truth. We're going to uncover the 4 worst vegetables for seniors, the ones that could be silently sabotaging your health and well-being. But we're not stopping there. We're also going to explore the 4 best vegetables nutrient powerhouses that you absolutely must include in your diet if you want to age well, stay strong, and feel your best. You see, it's not just about eating more. It's about eating smarter. The right vegetables can reduce inflammation, boost circulation, protect your brain, and support your heart. The wrong ones, they can do the exact opposite, causing digestive issues, triggering joint pain, and even accelerating age-related conditions. If you're over 60, you cannot afford to make these mistakes. But don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to avoid and what to embrace. So if you're ready to take control of your health and make smarter choices at every meal, let's begin this journey together. Because the path to better health doesn't start with drastic changes. It starts with knowing the truth about what's on your plate. The 4 worst vegetables for seniors, what to avoid and why not. All vegetables are good for you. It's a statement that might seem surprising at first. After all, aren't vegetables supposed to be nature's medicine? But the reality is, as we age, certain vegetables can work against us, causing more harm than good. Let's explore the 4 worst vegetables for seniors, the ones that, despite their popularity, could be silently damaging your health. 1. Canned corn. The sweet trap. Hidden in plain sight. Canned corn is a staple in many American households. It's cheap, easy to store, and ready to eat right out of the can. But what most people don't realize is that canned corn is far from the fresh farm-picked vegetable it's often marketed as. The truth is, canned corn is loaded with added sugars and sodium, 2 ingredients that can wreak havoc on senior health. When you open that can of corn, you're not just getting corn kernels. You're also getting preservatives, high amounts of salt, and often even high fructose corn syrup to enhance its sweetness. This makes canned corn a high glycemic food, which means it rapidly spikes your blood sugar. For seniors managing conditions like prediabetes or diabetes, these spikes aren't just dangerous, they're potentially life-threatening. But that's not all. Canned corn is usually packaged in BPA-lined containers. BPA, or bisphenol A, is a chemical that can leach into your food and disrupt hormone balance. Studies have linked BPA exposure to increased risks of heart disease and kidney problems, conditions that many seniors are already fighting. Consider the story of Clementine Nash, a retired art teacher from Arizona. For years, she thought she was making the healthier choice by replacing fast food with canned vegetables, especially canned corn. It wasn't until her dietitian reviewed her food diary that the problem became clear. Her blood pressure remained stubbornly high, and her ankles were constantly swollen. After removing canned corn from her diet and replacing it with fresh green beans and roasted zucchini, Clementine saw a dramatic change. Her blood pressure dropped, her bloating disappeared, and she finally felt in control of her health again. The lesson here is clear: when it comes to corn, fresh is best. If you can't find fresh corn, opt for frozen. It's picked and preserved at peak ripeness with no added sugars or harmful chemicals. Because when it comes to senior health, even the smallest changes can make a world of difference. 2. Raw cruciferous vegetables, the silent threat to thyroid health. Broccoli, kale, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. These are powerhouse vegetables, right? But what if I told you that eating them raw could be quietly disrupting your thyroid? Cruciferous vegetables are loaded with nutrients, but they also contain something called goitrogens. These compounds can interfere with your body's ability to absorb iodine, a mineral crucial for thyroid health. Why does this matter? For seniors, thyroid health is especially critical. An underactive thyroid can lead to fatigue, weight gain, depression, and even cognitive decline. And when you consume large amounts of raw cruciferous vegetables, you may be suppressing your thyroid's ability to function optimally. But it's not just about your thyroid. Raw cruciferous vegetables are also high in insoluble fiber and raffinose, a complex sugar that's tough for the aging digestive system to break down. This often leads to bloating, gas, and discomfort, which can make daily life a little less pleasant. Take Wallace Trentham, a 75-year-old jazz pianist from Michigan. Inspired by health blogs, he swapped his usual breakfast for kale and broccoli smoothies. Within weeks, he began experiencing cold hands and feet, mental fog, and constant fatigue. A visit to his doctor revealed low thyroid hormone levels and early signs of iron deficiency. The culprit? His daily intake of raw cruciferous vegetables. Once Wallace switched to lightly steaming his vegetables and added iodine-rich foods like seaweed and eggs to his diet, his symptoms disappeared and his energy returned. The takeaway: cook your cruciferous vegetables. Steaming, roasting, or sautéing reduces the goitrogens and makes the fiber easier to digest. Your thyroid and your stomach will thank you. 3. Eggplant, the inflammatory nightshade that hides in plain sight. Eggplant is beautiful, vibrant, and a staple in many Mediterranean dishes. But behind its glossy purple skin, eggplant holds a secret that many seniors are unaware of. It belongs to a group of vegetables called nightshades, which also includes tomatoes, peppers, and white potatoes. These vegetables contain a compound called solanine, which has been linked to increased inflammation in the body. For seniors dealing with arthritis, gout, or chronic joint pain, solanine can worsen symptoms. It's not just about temporary discomfort. Over time, it can accelerate joint deterioration and reduce mobility. The skin of the eggplant, where solanine concentrations are highest, can be especially problematic. Ramona Delaney, a retired librarian from Rhode Island, loved her grilled eggplant paninis, but she couldn't understand why her arthritis flared up every time she ate it. After keeping a food journal, she realized the connection. When she eliminated eggplant from her diet, her morning stiffness eased and her knees stopped aching. If you struggle with joint pain, it might be worth swapping eggplant for zucchini or squash, vegetables that are gentle on your joints and easy to digest. Sometimes the right change isn't about eliminating food entirely, but choosing the version that loves you back. 4. Raw spinach, the nutrient paradox that could hurt more than help. Spinach is often hailed as a superfood, a symbol of strength and vitality. But raw spinach carries hidden risks that many seniors don't realize. Spinach is high in oxalates, compounds that bind to calcium and iron in your digestive tract, making them harder for your body to absorb. For older adults already at risk of osteoporosis and anemia, this can be a major problem. But that's not all. Raw spinach is incredibly rich in vitamin K1, which plays a critical role in blood clotting. If you're taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin, consuming too much raw spinach can counteract the effects of your medication, putting you at risk for dangerous clots. Neville Arburn, a retired airplane mechanic from California, joined a local smoothie club with his granddaughter. Every morning, he blended raw spinach into his smoothies. Within weeks, his INR levels, a measure of how well his blood was clotting, started fluctuating wildly. His doctor was puzzled until Neville mentioned his new breakfast routine. Once he stopped consuming raw spinach, his levels returned to normal. The key takeaway: cook your spinach. Lightly sautéing or steaming it reduces oxalate content and makes the nutrients more accessible to your body. It's a simple change that can have a massive impact on your health. Now that you understand which vegetables may be working against you, it's time to explore the vegetables that can truly transform your health. In the next section, we'll dive deep into the 4 best vegetables for seniors' nutrient powerhouses that support circulation, boost brain health, and keep your joints feeling young. Because when it comes to healthy aging, the right vegetables are more than just food, they're medicine. The 4 best vegetables for seniors, nutrient powerhouses. While some vegetables can quietly sabotage your health, others can be your strongest allies. These nutrient powerhouses not only fuel your body with essential vitamins and minerals, but they also fight inflammation, boost circulation, and protect your heart and brain as you age. Let's explore the 4 best vegetables for seniors that should be on your plate every single week. 1. Beets, the circulation and brain health booster. When it comes to boosting circulation and enhancing brain health, few vegetables can rival the power of beets. This humble root vegetable may not always be the first choice at the grocery store, but its health benefits are undeniable, especially for seniors. Beets are incredibly rich in natural nitrates. When consumed, these nitrates convert into nitric oxide in your body. Nitric oxide is a molecule that relaxes and dilates your blood vessels, improving blood flow and lowering blood pressure. For seniors, this is critical. As we age, our arteries tend to stiffen, making it harder for blood to flow efficiently. This can lead to higher blood pressure and increased strain on the heart. But regular consumption of beets can help reverse this process, promoting better circulation and reducing the risk of heart disease. But the benefits don't stop at your heart. Improved blood flow also supports brain health. More oxygen and nutrients are delivered to your brain, enhancing cognitive function and slowing mental decline. A study from Wake Forest University even found that drinking beet juice before exercise improved brain connectivity in older adults, sharpening memory and focus. Take the story of Everett Bix Callahan, an 82-year-old retired jazz record producer from Baton Rouge. For years, Bix struggled with dizzy spells and occasional forgetfulness. His doctor diagnosed him with stage 1 hypertension and early signs of cognitive decline. Determined to stay independent, Bix made a simple change. He added a beet smoothie to his morning routine. Blended with ginger lemon and a touch of honey, the drink became his daily ritual. Within a month, Bix reported better energy, fewer dizzy spells, and sharper focus. His blood pressure dropped by 12 points, and his memory tests showed signs of stabilization. His doctor was impressed, encouraging him to keep it up. The lesson here is clear: sometimes the simplest changes yield the greatest results. A daily glass of beet juice or a serving of roasted beets can transform not just your heart health, but also your mind. Because when your blood flows smoothly, your body and brain thrive. 2. Bok choy, the bone and immune strengthener. If there's one vegetable that deserves more attention in senior nutrition, it's bok choy, also known as Chinese cabbage. Bok choy is part of the cruciferous vegetable family, but unlike its raw counterparts, it's gentle on your digestive system and packed with easily absorbable nutrients. Bok choy is incredibly rich in calcium, vitamin K, magnesium, and potassium. These nutrients are essential for bone health, especially for seniors. As we age, bone density naturally declines, increasing the risk of fractures. But the calcium found in bok choy is highly absorbable, unlike spinach or kale, which contain oxalates that block calcium absorption. Vitamin K is another standout nutrient in bok choy. It plays a crucial role in bone mineralization, helping your bones retain calcium and stay strong. And because bok choy is low in oxalates, your body can fully absorb these bone-strengthening minerals. But that's not all. Bok choy is also packed with vitamin C, which supports immune health. For seniors whose immune function naturally weakens over time, this added protection can help ward off infections and speed up recovery from seasonal illnesses. Just ask Lenore Hightower, a 76-year-old former music teacher from Spokane, Washington. After recovering from a wrist fracture caused by a minor fall, her doctor warned her about her decreasing bone density. Milk and dairy products caused her digestive discomfort, so her dietitian introduced her to bok choy. Lenore began adding it to her soups, sautéing it with garlic and steaming it with fish. Within months, her bone density stabilized, and she felt stronger and steadier on her feet. The takeaway is simple. Adding bok choy to your weekly meals can strengthen your bones and fortify your immune system. It's a small change that can make a significant difference. 3. Green peas, the digestive and blood sugar ally. Green peas may seem small and unassuming, but they are packed with nutrients that are vital for senior health. In fact, they are one of the best vegetables you can eat to stabilize blood sugar, improve digestion, and support heart health. Peas are rich in both soluble and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber helps slow the absorption of sugar, keeping your blood glucose levels steady, an essential benefit for seniors managing diabetes or prediabetes. Insoluble fiber, on the other hand, adds bulk to your stool, promoting regularity and preventing constipation, an issue that affects nearly half of adults over 65. But peas don't just stop there. They are also an excellent source of plant-based protein, providing about 8 grams per cooked cup. This helps maintain muscle mass, which is crucial for mobility and independence as we age. Consider the story of Fernald Fern Broderick, an 80-year-old retired park ranger from Helena, Montana. After experiencing digestive issues and being diagnosed with prediabetes, Fern decided to make a change. His nutritionist recommended adding green peas to his meals 3 times a week. Fern tossed them into omelets, mixed them into soups, and even made pea puree for a snack. Within weeks, his energy levels improved, his digestion stabilized, and his blood sugar readings dropped. He calls them his tiny green protectors, and they've become a staple in his diet. The message is clear. Don't underestimate the power of these tiny vegetables. With every bite, you're supporting your heart, balancing your blood sugar, and protecting your digestive health. 4. Swiss chard, the detoxifying immune booster. Often overshadowed by spinach and kale, Swiss chard is a nutritional powerhouse that deserves a spot on your plate. This leafy green is packed with vitamins A, C, and K, along with magnesium, iron, and potassium, all crucial for seniors looking to maintain strength and vitality. One of the standout benefits of Swiss chard is its ability to detoxify the body. It contains betalains, natural pigments that support liver function and aid in flushing out toxins. For seniors whose organs naturally slow down with age, this added detoxification is a tremendous benefit. But that's not all. Swiss chard also provides a solid dose of vitamin C and zinc, both of which are vital for immune health. For older adults whose immune systems are not as resilient, this can mean faster recovery times and fewer seasonal illnesses. And perhaps most impressively, Swiss chard supports eye health. Its high levels of lutein and zeaxanthin protect the retina from oxidative stress, reducing the risk of macular degeneration and cataracts, 2 of the most common vision problems in seniors. Loretta Mayfield, an 84-year-old retired postal worker from Savannah, Georgia, can attest to this. After struggling with blurry vision and sluggish digestion, she began adding Swiss chard to her diet twice a week. Within 2 months, her digestion improved, her vision became clearer, and her eye pressure stabilized. The lesson here is simple. Sometimes the most powerful changes are the ones we overlook. Swiss chard is one of those vegetables, a humble green that quietly supports nearly every system in your body. With the right vegetables on your plate, your body can heal, protect, and thrive even as the years go by. In the next section, we'll uncover the common mistakes seniors make with vegetables and how simple changes can help you maximize their health benefits while avoiding unnecessary risks. Because sometimes it's not just what you eat, it's how you eat it that matters. Common mistakes seniors make with vegetables. It's no secret that vegetables are essential for good health, but just because something is good for you doesn't mean it's always working in your favor. In fact, many seniors unknowingly make mistakes with their vegetables that can lead to digestive issues, nutrient loss, or even harmful interactions with medications. Let's explore the most common mistakes and how to fix them so you can get the most out of every meal. 1. Over-reliance on canned vegetables. Canned vegetables are convenient. They're cheap, easy to store, and ready to use at a moment's notice. But what many people don't realize is that convenience sometimes comes with a hidden cost. Most canned vegetables are loaded with sodium, sometimes more than half of your daily recommended intake in just one serving. For seniors managing high blood pressure, heart disease, or kidney issues, that extra sodium can be a silent threat. It can cause water retention, raise blood pressure, and increase strain on your cardiovascular system. Worse yet, many canned vegetables are preserved in BPA-lined containers, a chemical linked to hormone disruption and increased risks of heart and kidney problems. The solution is simple. Whenever possible, opt for fresh or frozen vegetables. Frozen vegetables are picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen to preserve nutrients. They have no added salt, no preservatives, and no BPA exposure. If you must use canned, choose low-sodium options and always rinse them under cold water before cooking to reduce salt content. The small effort of rinsing or switching to fresh alternatives can protect your heart, lower your sodium intake, and help your body thrive as it should. 2. Eating cruciferous vegetables. Raw broccoli. Cauliflower, kale, and Brussels sprouts are packed with vitamins and fiber. But if you're eating them raw, you might be setting yourself up for trouble. These vegetables contain goitrogens compounds that can interfere with thyroid function. For seniors whose thyroid health is often more fragile, this can lead to fatigue, weight gain, and a slower metabolism. Raw cruciferous vegetables are also high in insoluble fiber and raffinose, a type of sugar that's tough for the body to break down. This can lead to bloating, gas, and digestive discomfort symptoms that are not only uncomfortable, but also avoidable. The good news is that cooking these vegetables reduces their goitrogenic properties and makes their fibers easier to digest. Steaming, roasting, or lightly sautéing can unlock their full nutritional potential while protecting your digestive system. A simple change in how you prepare these vegetables can transform your meals from bloating and discomfort to nourishment and energy. 3. Neglecting proper cooking techniques. Vegetables are nutrient powerhouses, but only if you prepare them right. Overcooking or boiling vegetables until they're mushy doesn't just ruin their texture, it destroys their vitamins and minerals. Important nutrients like vitamin C, folate, and potassium are highly sensitive to heat and can be lost in the cooking water. One common mistake is boiling vegetables without understanding that many of their nutrients end up in the water, which is often poured down the drain. For example, boiling spinach can strip away almost half of its vitamin C content. Similarly, broccoli loses much of its cancer-fighting sulforaphane when boiled for too long. To preserve these nutrients, opt for steaming, blanching, or lightly sautéing your vegetables. These methods keep the vitamins intact while enhancing the flavor and maintaining the crunch. If you do boil vegetables, consider using the water in soups or stews to capture the nutrients that leached out. The difference is remarkable: brighter colors, better taste, and more health benefits with every bite. 4. Ignoring the importance of food pairing. Did you know that how you pair your vegetables can change how well you absorb their nutrients? For instance, fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K require healthy fats for absorption. That means if you're eating spinach or carrots without a bit of olive oil or avocado, you're not getting the full benefit. Similarly, the iron found in leafy greens is absorbed better when paired with vitamin C-rich foods like bell peppers or lemon juice. A simple salad of spinach with a squeeze of lemon can dramatically increase your iron intake. But the reverse is also true. Pairing the wrong foods together can actually block nutrient absorption. For example, drinking coffee or tea with iron-rich vegetables can prevent iron from being absorbed effectively. If you're having a spinach salad, it's best to wait an hour before enjoying that cup of tea. Understanding these small details can transform your diet from just eating vegetables to truly nourishing your body. 5. Failing to wash fresh produce properly. One of the simplest yet most overlooked steps is washing fresh vegetables before cooking. Even organic produce can carry traces of pesticides, dirt, and bacteria that are harmful to your health. For seniors with weaker immune systems, this is even more critical. Simply rinsing under cold water is not always enough. For leafy greens like spinach or kale, soaking in a bowl of water for a few minutes can help remove more residues. A gentle scrub for firmer vegetables like carrots and potatoes ensures that you're not consuming harmful chemicals along with your nutrients. It's a simple habit that takes only a few minutes but can protect you from unnecessary health risks. 6. Overlooking freshness and storage techniques. Freshness matters. Vegetables that have been sitting in your fridge for weeks lose nutritional value over time. Spinach, for instance, can lose up to 90% of its vitamin C content just days after being harvested. To keep your vegetables fresh, store leafy greens in airtight containers with a paper towel to absorb excess moisture. Root vegetables like carrots and beets last longer when kept in a cool, dark place. If you're buying in bulk, consider freezing portions to lock in their nutrients. Small changes in how you store your vegetables can mean big changes in how much nutrition you actually consume. A lesson to remember: eating vegetables is important, but eating them the right way is essential. By avoiding these common mistakes, you're not just adding nutrients to your diet, you're maximizing them. It's the difference between eating for survival and eating for vitality. When you choose the right vegetables, prepare them properly, and store them with care, you're investing in your health with every bite. It's a small effort with massive returns. And now that you know how to avoid these mistakes, it's time to take it a step further. In the next section, we're going to explore how to cook vegetables for maximum health benefits. You'll learn the best cooking techniques to preserve nutrients, unlock flavors, and make every meal count. Because when it comes to aging, well, how you cook matters just as much as what you cook. How to cook vegetables for maximum health benefits. Eating the right vegetables is crucial, but how you cook them can make all the difference. You might think that simply boiling or steaming your vegetables is enough, but the truth is, certain cooking methods can enhance or even destroy their nutritional value. To truly unlock the health benefits of vegetables, you need to understand the best ways to prepare them, methods that preserve vitamins, boost absorption, and make every bite count. 1. Steaming, the nutrient protector. If you want to preserve the maximum amount of vitamins and minerals in your vegetables, steaming is one of the best methods available. Unlike boiling, where nutrients like vitamin C, folate, and potassium can leach into the water, steaming keeps these valuable compounds locked inside. Vegetables like broccoli, carrots, and green beans maintain their bright color, crisp texture, and most importantly, their nutrients. Steaming is especially powerful for cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and Brussels sprouts. When steamed, they retain sulforaphane, a compound known to fight cancer and reduce inflammation. Studies have shown that steaming broccoli preserves up to 90% of its sulforaphane content compared to boiling, which can strip away more than half. But the benefits go beyond just nutrients. Steamed vegetables are also easier to digest. For seniors who often experience slower digestion, the gentle cooking process softens the fibers without breaking down the vitamins, making it easier on the stomach while still delivering maximum nutrition. To make the most of steaming, avoid overcooking. The goal is a tender, crisp texture, not mushy or limp. A simple rule of thumb: if your vegetables have lost their bright color, you've cooked them too long. A steamer basket or even a metal colander over boiling water works perfectly. The lesson is simple. When you want to protect your vegetables' nutrients and make them easier to digest, steam them. It's quick, gentle, and preserves what matters most. 2. Blanching, the secret to brightness and freshness. Blanching is a technique that involves boiling vegetables for a very short time, usually just 1 to 3 minutes, and then plunging them into ice water. This process not only locks in the vibrant color of vegetables, but also preserves their crispness and nutritional value. Blanching is ideal for vegetables like green bean spinach and asparagus. The brief exposure to boiling water softens the outer layer, making them more tender, but the immediate ice bath stops the cooking process, keeping the inside fresh and packed with nutrients. Another advantage of blanching is its ability to remove surface dirt and kill bacteria. For leafy greens, especially spinach and kale, blanching reduces the amount of oxalates, which can interfere with calcium absorption. It's also a perfect preparation step before freezing vegetables, as it helps maintain their texture and nutrients for months. Think of blanching as nature's way of hitting the pause button. Your vegetables are cooked just enough to be safe and delicious, but not so much that you lose the good stuff. 3. Roasting, bringing out the flavor and the power. If you've ever had roasted sweet potatoes or caramelized Brussels sprouts, you know just how delicious this cooking method can be. But roasting doesn't just enhance flavor, it also unlocks nutrients in a way that raw vegetables sometimes can't. When you roast vegetables at high temperatures, the natural sugars caramelize, bringing out a deeper, richer flavor. More than just taste, roasting can actually increase the bioavailability of certain antioxidants. For example, roasting carrots concentrates their beta-carotene levels, making it easier for your body to absorb. Sweet potatoes, squash, and beets also benefit from roasting, as it breaks down the starches into simpler sugars, making them easier to digest. However, it's important to avoid charring or burning, as this can create harmful compounds. Roasting at around 400 degrees Celsius for 20 to 30 minutes usually does the trick, just enough to soften the vegetables and bring out their natural sweetness. A drizzle of olive oil before roasting not only enhances flavor, but also aids some in the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. It's a simple addition with profound health benefits. When it comes to both flavor and nutrition, roasting is one of the best ways to elevate your vegetables. 4. Sautéing, quick, flavorful, and nutritious. Sautéing is a method that often gets overlooked, but it's one of the quickest and most effective ways to prepare vegetables. With just a bit of healthy oil like olive oil or avocado oil, you can cook vegetables at medium heat, preserving their nutrients while adding a layer of flavor. The key to sautéing is to avoid high temperatures. Medium heat is best, as it prevents the oil from burning and maintains the nutritional integrity of the vegetables. Sautéing is perfect for spinach, kale, zucchini, and mushrooms. These vegetables cook quickly, locking in their vitamins and minerals while becoming tender and delicious. Additionally, the small amount of oil used in sautéing helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins. A quick toss with garlic or onions can also add antioxidants and anti-inflammatory benefits to your meal. The next time you want a quick, healthy side dish, consider sautéing. It's fast, full of flavor, and incredibly nutritious. 5. Avoiding the common cooking mistakes. Even the healthiest vegetables can lose their benefits if cooked the wrong way. Boiling for too long, using too much oil, or burning vegetables can strip away nutrients and create harmful compounds. The key is balanced cooking, just enough to soften the fibers and make the vitamins more accessible, but not so much that you destroy the good stuff. Always remember, steam to protect, blanch to freshen, roast to enhance, sauté to nourish. These simple techniques transform your vegetables from mere side dishes to nutritional powerhouses. And when you cook them right, you're not just feeding your body, you're nourishing it for the long run. Now that you know how to prepare your vegetables for maximum benefit, it's time to take it one step further. In the next section, we're going to explore smart grocery shopping tips for seniors. You'll learn how to choose the freshest vegetables, identify harmful additives, and make the best choices for your health. Because what you bring into your kitchen matters just as much as how you prepare it. Smart grocery shopping tips for seniors. Eating healthy starts long before the vegetables hit your plate. It begins in the grocery store with the choices you make as you walk through the aisles. But with so many options available, it can be overwhelming to know what's truly good for you and what's just cleverly marketed. For seniors, making the right choices isn't just about nutrition, it's about protecting your health, managing conditions, and supporting longevity. Let's walk through the essential tips for smart grocery shopping so you can fill your cart with the best options every time. 1. Choose fresh over canned. Whenever possible. One of the biggest mistakes many people make is opting for convenience over quality. Canned vegetables are certainly convenient, but they often come at a cost. Most canned vegetables are packed with sodium and preservatives to extend their shelf life. A single serving of canned green beans can contain nearly 300 milligrams of sodium. If you're adding multiple servings to a meal, that number adds up quickly, especially for seniors managing high blood pressure or kidney conditions. Additionally, many cans are lined with BPA, a chemical that can seep into your food and disrupt hormone balance. Studies have linked BPA exposure to an increased risk of heart disease and other health problems. If you have the option, always choose fresh or frozen over canned. Frozen vegetables are picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen to preserve nutrients without the added salt or preservatives. They're just as nutritious, if not more so, than their fresh counterparts. If canned is your only option, look for labels that say low sodium or no salt added, and be sure to rinse them thoroughly before cooking. The small decision to swap canned for fresh or frozen can make a significant difference in your sodium intake and overall health. 2. Read labels. Carefully, know what you're buying. It's easy to assume that a vegetable product is healthy just because it's labeled natural or organic. But food labels can be misleading. Terms like all natural are not regulated, and even organic products can contain added sugars or excessive sodium. The truth is in the fine print. Always take a moment to read the nutrition label. Look for sodium content. Aim for less than 140 milliliters per serving for low sodium. Added sugars, vegetables shouldn't have added sugar. If you see it listed, put it back on the shelf. Preservatives. Watch out for sulfites and artificial preservatives. Ingredient list. The shorter the better. If you can't pronounce an ingredient, it probably doesn't belong in your body. For example, a can of tomato soup might seem like a healthy choice, but upon closer inspection, it may contain high fructose corn syrup, added salt, and preservatives. That's why it's crucial to check the label every time. Making it a habit to read labels isn't just about knowing what you're eating. It's about taking control of your health. 3. Shop the perimeter of the store. If you've ever noticed, the freshest and healthiest foods are typically located around the outer edges of the grocery store. This is where you'll find fresh produce, dairy, lean meats, and whole grains. The center aisles are usually stocked with processed foods, snacks, and canned goods loaded with preservatives and artificial ingredients. To make your shopping trip more effective, start with the produce section. Fill your cart with leafy greens, root vegetables, and fresh herbs. Move to lean proteins. Opt for fresh fish, chicken, and lean cuts of meat. Visit the dairy section. Choose low-fat options and avoid sugary flavored products. Finish with whole grains. Look for brown rice quinoa and whole wheat options. By shopping the perimeter first, you're more likely to fill your cart with fresh, nutrient-rich foods before getting tempted by the less healthy options in the center aisles. A simple change in your shopping path can lead to healthier choices and better meals. 4. Buy seasonal and local when possible. One of the best ways to ensure you're getting the freshest produce is to buy seasonal and local. Vegetables picked in season are not only more flavorful, but they also have higher nutrient content. A tomato bought in the summer when it's in season is richer in vitamin C and antioxidants than one picked in the dead of winter. Local farmers' markets are fantastic places to find seasonal produce that's fresh, free of heavy preservatives, and often grown with fewer pesticides. You're also supporting local farmers, which benefits your community. If you're unsure of what's in season, most grocery stores label their produce, or you can ask a store associate. A quick search online can also help you understand which vegetables are at their peak during each season. By choosing seasonal and local, you're not only eating better, you're also getting the most nutrients for your dollar. 5. Avoid pre-cut or pre-washed vegetables unless necessary. Pre-cut vegetables may seem convenient, but they often come at the cost of freshness and nutritional value. When vegetables are cut, their cells are exposed to oxygen, which can lead to nutrient loss. Vitamin C in particular begins to degrade rapidly once it's exposed to air. Additionally, many pre-washed or pre-cut vegetables are treated with preservatives to maintain their color and crispness. While it might save you a few minutes of preparation, it also exposes you to chemicals that are best avoided. If convenience is necessary, choose pre-cut vegetables that are packaged without preservatives and rinse them thoroughly before use. But whenever possible, buy whole vegetables and prepare them yourself. It's a little more effort, but the payoff is worth it. 6. Use a shopping list and stick to it. One of the simplest yet most powerful tips is to shop with a list. When you have a list, you're less likely to wander the aisles picking up processed foods or snacks you don't need. A well-prepared list not only saves you money, but also keeps you focused on the essentials: fresh vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. Before heading to the store, plan your meals for the week. Think about what vegetables you need for each dish and write it down. Include healthy staples like leafy greens, carrots, beans, and fresh herbs. When you shop with intention, you're not just buying food, you're investing in your health. A lesson to remember: healthy eating starts with smart shopping. The decisions you make in the grocery store determine the quality of your meals and ultimately your health. By choosing fresh over canned reading labels, carefully shopping the perimeter, and planning your purchases, you're setting yourself up for success. When you make conscious choices, you're not just filling your cart, you're fueling your body with the nutrients it needs to thrive. Now that you know how to pick the right vegetables and avoid common pitfalls, it's time to hear from real people who've made these changes and transformed their health. In the next section, we'll explore real-life success stories. How small changes transformed lives. You'll discover the inspiring stories of seniors who swapped out harmful habits for healthy ones and saw incredible results. Because sometimes it's not just about what you eat, it's about making every choice count. Real-life success stories. How small changes transformed lives. It's one thing to know what's good for you. It's another thing entirely to see it in action. When it comes to nutrition, sometimes the smallest changes can make the biggest difference. Throughout the years, countless seniors have transformed their health simply by being more mindful of what they eat and how they prepare it. Today, I want to share with you the real stories of people just like you, people who took small steps and saw life-changing results. 1. Clementine Nash. Finding freedom from high blood pressure. Clementine Nash is a 72-year-old retired art teacher from Flagstaff, Arizona. For years, she struggled with high blood pressure and swollen ankles, chalking it up to age and stress. Like many, she believed that canned vegetables were a healthier choice compared to fast food. Her pantry was always stocked with canned corn, green beans, and carrots. She often added them to her soups and casseroles, thinking she was making a smart choice. But despite her efforts to eat healthier, her blood pressure remained stubbornly high. During a routine visit, her dietitian reviewed her food diary and immediately flagged the frequent consumption of canned corn. Clementine was stunned. How could a vegetable be causing so many problems? Her dietitian explained that canned corn is loaded with sodium and preservatives, which can elevate blood pressure and cause water retention. Even worse, the BPA in the cans could be interfering with her hormone balance. Determined to make a change, Clementine swapped canned corn for fresh green beans and roasted zucchini. Within just a month, her blood pressure began to stabilize. The swelling in her ankles disappeared, and she even lost 4 pounds without trying. Clementine says she feels lighter, more energetic, and finally in control of her health. Her story is a powerful reminder that sometimes it's not just about what you eat, but the form in which you eat it. Fresh is always better, and those small adjustments can lead to big changes. 2. Wallace Trentham, Restoring Thyroid, Health and Energy. Wallace Trentham, a 75-year-old jazz pianist from Grand Rapids, Michigan, believed he was doing everything right. Inspired by health blogs, he started each morning with a kale and broccoli smoothie. He wanted to boost his energy, improve his health, and stay sharp for his weekend gigs. But instead of feeling better, Wallace began experiencing cold hands and feet, mental fog, and persistent fatigue. He brushed it off as aging, but his doctor saw something different. Blood work revealed low thyroid hormone levels and early signs of iron deficiency. His doctor asked about his diet, and Wallace proudly listed off his daily smoothies packed with raw cruciferous vegetables. That's when his doctor explained the problem. Raw kale and broccoli are high in goitrogens, which can suppress thyroid function and interfere with iodine absorption. It was a simple fix. Wallace switched to lightly steaming his vegetables before blending them into his morning smoothies. He also added iodine-rich foods like seaweed flakes and eggs to his diet. Within weeks, his energy returned. His hands warmed up, the mental fog lifted, and his iron levels normalized. Wallace now enjoys his jazz performances with sharper focus and renewed vitality. Wallace's experience is proof that even healthy foods need the right preparation. Cooking your cruciferous vegetables doesn't just make them easier to digest, it unlocks their full potential without compromising your health. 3. Ramona Delaney, Easing Arthritis, Pain with a Simple Swap. Ramona Delaney, a 70-year-old retired librarian living in Providence, Rhode Island, had always prided herself on her healthy lifestyle. She walked daily, prepared her own meals, and maintained a mostly plant-based diet. But as she entered her 70s, her arthritis began to flare up more frequently. Her fingers swelled, her knees ached, and her morning routine became increasingly painful. Ramona kept a food journal for a month, noting every meal and every ache. A surprising pattern emerged. Her joint pain was always worse after eating dishes with eggplant. She loved her grilled eggplant panini and vegetable lasagna, but didn't realize that eggplant is part of the nightshade family, which can trigger inflammation in sensitive individuals. Taking her doctor's advice, Ramona cut eggplant from her diet for 4 weeks. The difference was remarkable. Her morning stiffness eased, her knees felt stronger, and she even started sleeping better. Ramona replaced eggplant with zucchini and squash vegetables that are gentler on the joints. Today, she moves with more freedom and less pain, proving that understanding your body's triggers can bring back the quality of life you thought you'd lost. Her story is a reminder that food sensitivity is real, and sometimes the healthiest choice is simply knowing what to avoid. 4. Neville R. Byrne, Protecting Heart Health with One Simple Change. Neville R. Byrne is a 79-year-old retired airplane mechanic from Bakersfield, California. Neville had been managing his heart health for nearly a decade following a minor stroke. His doctors were pleased with his progress until his INR levels, which measure how well his blood was clotting, began fluctuating wildly. Confused and worried, Neville retraced his steps, searching for changes in his lifestyle. That's when he remembered his new breakfast routine. His granddaughter had convinced him to join a local smoothie club, and every morning Neville drank a green smoothie packed with raw spinach. What he didn't know was that raw spinach is incredibly high in vitamin K1, a nutrient that promotes blood clotting and can interfere with blood-thinning medications like warfarin. With his doctor's guidance, Neville stopped the raw spinach smoothies and switched to lightly sautéed spinach instead. Within weeks, his INR levels stabilized and his doctors were relieved. Neville now enjoys his spinach cooked and his heart health remains steady and strong. His story is a powerful example of how even the healthiest foods can be harmful if they aren't prepared with your specific health needs in mind. 5. Everett Bix Callahan, boosting brain health with beets. At 82 years old. Everett Bix Callahan, a retired jazz record producer from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, found himself struggling with dizzy spells and moments of forgetfulness. His doctor diagnosed him with stage 1 hypertension and early cognitive decline. Determined not to let age slow him down, Bix made one small change. He added a beet smoothie to his morning routine. The nitrates in beets improve blood circulation and lower blood pressure, but they also enhance brain function by increasing blood flow to the frontal lobe. Within just a few weeks, Bix noticed sharper focus, fewer dizzy spells, and even better memory recall. His doctor was impressed, noting a drop in his blood pressure and a stabilization in his cognitive health. For Bix, beets were more than just a vegetable. They were a lifeline, restoring his confidence and helping him hold on to the memories that meant the most. A lesson to remember. The stories of Clementine Wallace, Ramona Neville, and Bix all have one thing in common. Small, thoughtful changes made a world of difference. Sometimes it's as simple as swapping canned for fresh steaming instead of eating raw, or recognizing how one ingredient can affect your body. When you take the time to understand what your body needs, you're not just eating, you're healing. Every choice you make at the grocery store, in the kitchen, and at the dinner table is an opportunity to nourish your body and extend the quality of your life. Now that you've seen how small changes can transform lives, it's time to bring everything together. In the next section, we'll wrap up with the key takeaways and practical tips you can start using today. Because when it comes to living well, it's never too late to make the right choice. Conclusion. The path to healthier aging through smarter choices. As we reach the end of this journey, there's one powerful truth that stands out when it comes to aging. Well, the choices you make at the dinner table matter more than you think. The vegetables you eat, the way you prepare them, and even how you shop for them, all of these small decisions come together to shape your health, your energy, and your quality of life. We've explored the 4 worst vegetables for seniors: canned corn, raw cruciferous vegetables, eggplant, and raw spinach. These common foods, despite their innocent appearance, can silently disrupt your health. They can spike your blood sugar, aggravate joint pain, interfere with thyroid function, and even counteract your medications. But armed with this knowledge, you now have the power to make smarter choices. You can swap canned for fresh or frozen cook your cruciferous vegetables and be mindful of what you pair with your meals. On the other side, we discovered the 4 best vegetables for seniors: beets, bok choy green peas, and Swiss chard. These are not just foods, they are nutritional powerhouses. Beets boost circulation and protect your brain. Bok choy strengthens your bones and supports your immune system. Green peas stabilize your blood sugar and improve digestion. Swiss chard detoxifies your body and protects your vision. By simply including these vegetables in your weekly routine, you're actively fighting inflammation, supporting heart health, and boosting cognitive function. But knowing which vegetables to eat is only part of the equation. How you cook them matters just as much. Steaming preserves nutrients. Blanching locks in color and flavor. Roasting brings out natural sweetness without losing vitamins. Sautéing enhances absorption of fat-soluble nutrients. These methods are not just about taste, they're about unlocking the full potential of the foods you eat. We also explored the importance of smart grocery shopping, avoiding canned goods when possible. Reading labels, carefully shopping the perimeter of the store, and choosing fresh or frozen over processed can change the way you nourish your body. It's about being intentional, about taking control of what goes into your body, because the right ingredients lead to the right outcomes. And perhaps the most inspiring part of this journey has been the real-life stories of transformation. Clementine Nash Wallace, Trentham Ramona Delaney, Neville Arburn, and Everett Bix Callahan. All of them prove that small, thoughtful changes can lead to incredible health improvements. Lower blood pressure, stronger bones, reduced joint pain, and sharper minds, all achieved not through drastic diets or expensive supplements, but through smarter vegetable choices and mindful preparation. The lesson here is simple yet profound. Aging well isn't about making drastic changes overnight. It's about small, consistent decisions every time you shop, every time you cook, and every time you sit down to eat. It's about understanding what nourishes your body and what silently harms it. And most importantly, it's about believing that it's never too late to make a change. Imagine waking up with more energy, less pain, and clearer thinking. Imagine going through your day without the burden of digestive discomfort or aching joints. That future is not just possible, it's achievable with the right choices. So as you walk into your kitchen, take a moment to look at what's in your pantry, your fridge, and your shopping list. Ask yourself, is this nourishing my body? Is this supporting my health? If the answer is no, remember you have the power to change it. Because the path to healthier aging isn't paved with quick fixes or empty promises. It's paved with smarter choices, made one meal at a time. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Now it's your turn to take the first step. Choose wisely, eat mindfully, and live well, because you deserve nothing less.